What the hell was that?
So since this part starts off replaying some of old footage, I should take this opportunity to say, if you are easily motion sick or nauseous, I will provide some timestamps below. Those are the sections of the video to avoid. So if you are, like I said, if you are easily motion sick, even by the standards of basic video game play, don't watch those parts. Also, we need pills again.
Kate's developing an addiction.
We're going down that same path that we needed for the XBLA ending. So now we get introduced to the other big gimmick of the game, which is hydrokinesis. Kate now has the power to manipulate stacks of water to her will. The game calls it like hydrokinesis or hydrokinetics, but let's just call it what it is. It's water bending. So while you use the water bending here, oh god, yeah, this is why I was having a little too much fun. So yeah, while you're water bending, you can't aim over the shoulder. I agree, Kate. While you can't aim over your shoulder, but you can still blind fire.
What's happening to me?
So, hydrokinesis was heavily marketed in the XBLA version, like in all the trailers. This is part of the reason why I have been, I have not shown any trailers to Roy prior to recording this video, because every single trailer for the XBLA version shows off hydrokinesis. Hydrokinesis was cut from the single-player version of the game. But in the challenge room, which we unlocked after beating the game in the last video, is built entirely around using this brand new power, which you would have never used prior to this.
Huh.
Anyway, welcome to ElectroCorp. This hydrokinesis is so fun to use. It's ridiculous. It's basically the equivalent of like the white gravity gun from Half-Life 2. Where it is usable against enemies as well as objects. It's ridiculously fun.
This game just became 1,000 times better.
Systems engineer. You know, when it is your policy to kill everybody, it makes it so much easier to tell who your true enemies are. They're the ones that manage to survive. Don't worry, Kate. You have my full attention.
So now we know where Jetstream Sam got his habits of talking during slow walking corridor sections. I also really like the look of this. I mean, on the one hand, it's obvious that, they're recycling certain sections of the map, but I think just the color scheme, going pure white, is enough of a change, combining that with the water bending, to make it really interesting.
They did do a very good job on this. Like, if this is what they're doing to give the game closure, bravo.
Yeah, this was all done in direct response to significant outcry over the awful ending from the XBLA version. And the complaints that you could not use hydrokinesis during single player. Like I said, I could not emphasize enough how much it was hyped up in the trailers. Like, every single trailer showed Kate using hydrokinesis. And this is basically their apology for that, by actually including it in the single player for a change.
Apology accepted.
So coming up is the one section I kind of don't like. Because, I mean, you have water manipulation abilities. Of course, you're going to have an environmental puzzle built around that. So you got to manipulate these platforms in order to get across. I'm not the biggest fan of this section, so I just fast forwarded through it.
So it is a little janky.
It's when you're moving platforms in a deliberate manner, as opposed to flinging enemies around like a maniac. Yeah, it's janky, but it's a lot of fun during combat. Sorry, we just finished recording video 6. We're still a little emotionally drained.
We are. Can you seriously just trap them in a pillar of water and drown
Oh yeah,
them?
absolutely.
Oh.
And you can watch them slowly drown, or while they're trapped in it, you can also blind fire your LP4. It's not very accurate, but if you have something like the rapid fire pistol, you can occasionally whittle down their health like that.
Even as Morton's twisted experiment, you cannot defeat me. You will never get the antidote.
An actual final boss. Yep.
What the hell is Sarah?
It's a mech of some sort, I think. Also, they immediately tell you how to destroy it, so I censored it. Just to give some sort of closure. Also, this boss doesn't have any music, so I decided to change that. I think this is appropriate.
Thank you.
You know, this whole area actually kind of reminds me of Arsenal gear in general. There's just the gray and white aesthetic.
It does a little. It's a very sterile, very futuristic environment, you know?
Yeah, although it is lacking in jejunums.
Or ascending colons.
Alright, so as you could probably tell from there, it immediately tells you how to defeat the final boss in a pop-up, so I censored that just to give some tension. The idea is that you shoot energy rounds into its guns, and then when Sarah is stunned, you use your hydrokinesis to take one of the explosive barrels and throw it at Sarah.
Oh.
And a lot of this is another big difficulty spike. I actually think this in some areas this fight can be harder than the fight in the lobby in the last video, especially if you're trying to do it quickly or trying to show off certain things, especially because Sarah has several attacks that will cause knockback or ragdoll physics.
Yeah.
And the window for shooting energy rounds is very short, as is the window to throw or to waterbend the explosive barrels over, as you can see.
Do you think they maybe didn't give you enough time to get accustomed to it, or?
Yeah. I think maybe there should have been a little more combat with hydrokinesis prior to this. It's also pretty awkward using the cover system. Also because when you're taking cover, you can't use waterbending because the creating the tower uses the right mouse button, and when you're in cover, you're always gonna aim. There's also I think it's the 1 key that you use to toggle hydrokinesis on and off. It is a little cumbersome, but it's still useful. Also, I arced that shot beautifully, I think.
Nice.
Again, when it's gray like that, they don't necessarily. It's not necessarily. There's no bullet disappearing. It's about bullet dropping.
I figure out where the hell he came from.
Yeah, that that particular energy ball attack, it homes in on you partially. Like, unless you're running, it will. It can do really devastating damage, and Mila really likes to use that attack immediately after a firefight with regular enemies, and on normal and above, she can very quickly kill you. Like, this took a good 6 or 7 attempts, and most of the deaths that I got on this fight, they came from Sarah doing a sneak attack when just after a fight with regular enemies.
Yeah, it's a cool set piece, but it does feel a little tedious.
Yeah, I think maybe it's over already.
There you go.
And there we go. That's the ending for Hydrophobia Prophecy. It's still a little unsatisfying, but I say it's a massive improvement over the original.
Yeah. Okay, so it's at least something. It's not like, surprise, that's it.
Yeah,
wait
like
for the DLC
there
that
are
doesn't come.
like they're clearly gunning for a sequel that will never be made. But I still think that, overall it's an improvement.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That was Hydrophobia and Hydrophobia Prophecy. Next video, we're going to be looking at the unlockable challenge room that you get after beating the game, as well as a couple of interesting things that I missed or otherwise got wrong. So, take care, guys, and we will see you in the extras video.
See you then.